William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour. The perfect gentleman's playground.
We've reached the halfway point on this year's Trilby Tour. What better place to be than the mighty Rockliffe Hall?
This week the tour heads to its furthest point north, to Rockliffe Hall near Darlington for event number 5 on the calendar, the Trilby Tour Championship of Durham. It's the second year at Rockliffe, and in 2011 it was Paul Collins that claimed the title with the best performance we've ever seen in a Trilby Tour playoff, making net eagle par to eventually demolish the rest with a winning score of 4 under. And Collins is back to try and join James Vose and Paul Llewellyn as the only players to successfully defend a regional crown. The usual field of 120 Trilby Tourians, though, are here to try and stop him.
Yes!
Coming up on this week's show, we'll bring you up to date with the players that kept it together on this mighty Rockliffe course for a place in the top 10 to claim a ticket to the Trilby Tour World Championship final at Stoke Park later this year. We'll have highlights coverage of the top 4 playoff battle with an eclectic mix of playing styles and winner-takes-all tactics on show. Ian Knight, Golf and Events Director here at Rockliffe, gives us the lowdown on the tour's return to the northeast.
It's a fantastic event for us. It's one of the first big events we've put on here at Rockliffe Hall, and to get 120 really good players here was great for us. And we wanted to really showcase Rockliffe to a lot of good players, which I think we did well.
And Rockliffe's legendary rough has its say in this week's Rogues Gallery at the end of the show. Right then, time to get to the action. Well, Matt Woods alongside me in the commentary box. John Hughes has found the classic Rockliffe rough.
Yeah, frames the holes beautifully here. Gives the course some real definition. Looks pretty, but the golfers hate it. And 18 points through the first 9 holes, so he's off to a flyer.
Yeah, he's done well to get that out. Nice and safe is John Hughes. He'll keep it on the fairway as much as possible. Now this man, reportedly one of the longest hitters in amateur golf up north, and Ridley well away from the first. That's right down the middle. That's a ripper.
Yeah, great opening tee shot. A hole we'll be seeing lots of later. Our first playoff hole this afternoon.
Now talking of playoffs, this man was involved last year here at Rockliffe Hall. Julian Hayward played well, but nobody could touch Paul Collins on the day.
Yeah, 28 points through 14 holes. Going along very nicely and successfully finds the green here on 15, giving himself a real birdie opportunity.
It's looking like high 30s for a playoff today.
So Hayward a little bit of work to do to get himself into that number. Putt that's going to break off the left, and just over Borrows. That should be a safe par.
But Matt, that high 30 mark means putts like that have to drop.
Yeah, absolutely. Quality of golf today of the highest order. Course in fantastic shape. Undulating greens, a real feature here at the stunning Rockliffe Hall. Now Hughes, a little bit of tidying up to do. Oh no.
Well, that is uncharacteristic for John Hughes. Fortunately for him, it didn't affect his chances, and he finished his regulation 18 with 37 fantastic points as clubhouse leader.
Now Hayward tidying up for par. Left below right. Great way for the amateur golfer to strike the putt better.
And a very good score, 35 points. Would it be good enough for the playoff? Well, that remains to be seen, but certainly looks good enough for top 10. Now let's hear from the man that beat Julian in last year's playoff, Paul Collins.
Bit of a special day for me. I hadn't got a birdie all day, and to hit 2 on the first 2 playoff holes was, sort of set the mark really for the others, and managed to squeeze it in the end. It was a great day, good memories. After seeing young Milani just chipping in, and then Mr. Hayward, I think, sunk his as well, so there'd been 2 birdies before me. I thought, oh dear. And then when mine rolled in, I thought, well, yeah, got a chance here. I think me and Mr. Hayward had a shot on that hole, so I took a little bit of a lead there, so it was good. The second hole, I hit the driver quite well, just not trying to welly, I was just trying to keep on the fairway. So I just took my wedge out and real steady shot. I just wanted to get it onto the green really, and just had a very good bounce and rolled up sort of a couple of inches from the pin, and that was an easy tap in for another birdie. So that was gave me a couple of shots lead, I think, after that hole. I've actually gone up. I've got an extra shot this year. So and a lot of people today have recognised me, so it's been really nice, you know, just coming here today and, you know, sort of walking around, and people are coming up, shake my hand and saying, you know, well done last year, you did really well. It's just nice, there's just such a good atmosphere here. So, but my bag just blew over down the driving range and snapped the shaft on my driver. So I've got a completely strange driver in the bag now. So just keeping on the fairway is going to be the main thing. So yeah.
Oh dear, snap driver. I bet this man, Stephen Ridley, snapped a few in his time.
Not today. 25 points through 11 holes. This man is on fire.
Well, we'll find out how the champion of Durham, Paul Collins, does later on today. But for the moment, Ridley looks to be heading towards at least top 10.
Now back to the first. Thomas, 0 points at the moment. Hoping to change that quickly. Sends a lovely little 5-wood high up into the air. Seeking out the green and very nearly creeps on. Now Ridley to add to this impressive total of 25 points. Putt for par here on the par 3 12th. Great feature of this course, the par 3s. Good looking stroke. Yes. And the great work continues.
Well, he was flying and he continued to fly. Stephen Ridley, the 5 handicapper, into the clubhouse as the new leader, and at the end of the day, the top score in regulation. So we've got a mark established, and it's about attacking that. Thomas just confirming the line with his caddy. This is a very tricky little putt, could get away from him.
Pace all important. A good one to settle the nerves down. Just roll this up to a few inches.
And he continued with that type of form around the greens for the rest of his 18 holes, and a smiling Barry Thomas into the clubhouse on 37 points, tied for second place with John Hughes. And back at the first tee, up at the crack of midday, it's Lee Sharp, ready to do battle on the Trilby Tour once again, but not before William had a word with him.
Lee, third time the Trilby Tour?
Yeah, it's still as nerve-wracking as ever, to be honest.
But you've played in front of tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, with 11 players that help me out if I'm having a bad day. If someone could take me first tee shot, I'd be alright, I can relax then.
So you're saying there's nowhere to hide?
Absolutely nowhere to hide. A bit of a crowd round. The starter winds you up as well by telling you there's 2 million people watching on TV.
But Lee, you're a good player.
It don't matter on that first tee, does it? As long as I get past the ladies, I'm happy.
Lee, good luck.
Cheers, well. Need it.
My dad always said Lee Sharp was good, and now I know why. He played in a team of 12. Most of the other teams play with 11.
What a great interview though. He's a real giggler, is Lee Sharp. And a lovely touch from him, but this one probably needs to drop.
Yeah, and that will leave Mr. Sharp with a 2-footer for 31 points, which may leave William a slight problem, maybe looking for a new chairman of the panel.
So Lee tied for 4th at the moment. It's good, but will it be good enough? Find out after the break when this week's Trilby Tour continues here on Sky Sports.
The perfect gentleman's playground. William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour.
Welcome back to a bright and breezy Rockliffe Hall for continued coverage from the 2012 Trilby Tour Championship of Durham. Before we get back to the action on course, it's time to hear from Rockliffe's Director of Golf and Events and erstwhile Trilby Tourian Ian Knight as the tour comes back for a second year of drama.
It's a fantastic event for us. It's one of the first big events we've put on here at Rockliffe Hall, and to get 120 really good players here was great for us. A lot of guys had obviously never played the course before, and we're a new course, and we wanted to really showcase Rockliffe to a lot of good players, which I think we did well. All the guys you speak to here, they come back year on year because they love it. It's fantastic. If anybody says they're not nervous on the first tee, then you pretty much don't believe them. It's great to see the guys shaking on the first tee, trying to get the ball on the tee, and it really is exciting for them, and it's great to watch as well. There was a guy at Frilford who topped it, hit it about 4 yards, and then reached for his stroke saver for his next shot, which I thought was hilarious. He's probably watching this and he won't think it's hilarious, but that's what nerves does to you. You know, you do things that perhaps you wouldn't normally do. The rough here is amazing. It's changed. I mean, we've been open over 3 years now, and this is probably the course is looking its best now, I think, since we've been open. And the rough is pretty tough. You don't want to go in there. If you do go in there, then A, you might lose it, or B, you're going to have a big problem getting out, because it's pretty tough at the moment. Lots of people have the different favourites, but I think the one that probably most people remember is the 5th hole. It's a par 3, it's an island green, little similar, people say, to Sawgrass, and that's probably the one everybody remembers here. It's difficult, but it looks very spectacular. Every day at Rockliffe's different. You know, people are here in their leisure time. It's a 5-star product, but we like to think that it's a nice friendly atmosphere. People are here to say in their spare time, and they want to enjoy themselves, and our job is really to take all the hassle out of playing golf. We think we're very approachable and very friendly, and I think that's what makes us different from a lot of places.
So the 5th, Matt, it really is a beautiful hole.
Yeah, fantastic par 3, measuring 162 yards today. Bunkers left and right short, but water all around. And a dangerous tee shot, successfully negotiated and setting up a rare birdie opportunity.
That is glorious from Martin Whelan. And Matthew Campbell on 32 points in the bunker to the side of the 17th fairway, and he's so close, Matt.
Yeah, some great scoring in already. Needs to find a little bit of magic over these closing 2 holes, and this needs to get up.
Oh dear.
That's going to leave him a testy little 3rd shot. A little bit green to work with. Quickly back to the 5th. I don't think a single player has made a birdie on this 5th hole yet today. But a great opportunity. Oh dear. And the 5th remains intact.
Campbell then looking to go close with this one so he can head to the 18th with a spring in his step.
Yeah, just got to come across a corner of that bunker, be using his most lofted wedge, just trying to land it on the front of the green and let it feed down. Looks a little heavy-handed. No. Oh, look at this. Fantastic work. And a birdie there on 17 would go on to score 36 points and is currently in 4th place.
Yeah, more than just a spring in his step, an absolute bounce to the finish. And a super effort from Matthew Campbell. Now, we've got 37s in and a 38 in the clubhouse. 36 is looking good. Mackie rolling that in for par at the 5th. And now the 35s are coming into the equation, and that will put pressure on a lot of players who are coming in around the 34 mark. And once again, it's getting crowded on that leaderboard. David Kelly.
17 points through 8 holes. Tough putt here. Going to swing off the left. Needs to judge his pace correctly. Oh, dearie me. That'll be a 4 for 2. Takes him out in 19 points.
That was very, very nice indeed. One of the later groups out today. Stephen Williamson in group 37. Heading towards a good solid score. But a bit of work to do into the breeze. And he's done it well enough.
Great touch there.
Now, Colin Brown made the playoff at Perth 2 years ago when Trevor Taylor was crowned the Trilby Tour Champion of Scotland. And a very, very good golfer, and he's lost none of that touch over the last couple of years.
Yeah, great second shot. Back out to the 17th, where we saw that fantastic chip in earlier.
And talking of playoffs, Matt, another man that's made a playoff, Duncan Bush. Contested the Fox Hills top 4 last season. And the 2 handicapper with another belting shot into the 17th green. Williamson, putt for par, everything invaluable at this stage of the game. And that will do very nicely indeed. And it was a good solid finish in the end from Stephen Williamson, but the 10 handicapper couldn't get past the 34-point mark. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a ticket for the World Final for all those on 35. Whether the guys who end up on 34 will get a shot at that, we'll have to see. They're getting squeezed at the moment. Bush then, up and out of that one very early. And the good golfers always know when they haven't hit it right. Tight enough from Bush, but he really could have done with a few more of those dropping, and ends up in a tie for 10th place on 34 points. And there's a lot of players heading in that direction. Now then, Morrison at 15.
Yeah, needs a miracle really from here. 23 points through the first 14 holes. And that is a good start.
That's exquisite, playing alongside David Kelly, who's been in very good nick today. And the champion of Yorkshire on last year's Trilby Tour, James Gray, looking very casual there to the right-hand side of the tee as we look at it. That's a lovely swing from Kelly.
Yeah, great flow to it. Looks to be heading in the right direction. Just half a club short. Setting up a good birdie opportunity.
Now then, Whelan, very tidy golfer.
His third shot here on the par 4 10th. Does receive a shot, so that'll be a putt for 4 and 3 points.
Now then, Kelly has been close on a number of occasions with the longer putts. Could do with 1 or 2 dropping in terms of his playoff ambitions. Come on, come on. Unlucky.
Just burning that right edge. Great pace. Just a slight misread. But that'll be a rock solid 3.
Now the Trilby Tour champion of Yorkshire, James Gray. Trying to increase his chances of making that world final, playing in a couple of events this year. He's got the old Brazilian putter out there.
Can he score? Oh, yes he does.
Oh, goal, 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 I believe they say, Matt.
Super 3. Needs to accumulate at least another 7 points.
Morrison playing alongside them. It's been a good group, this one. Yeah.
Stunning tee shot, really deserves a 2.
Go on. Oh, they hurt. They really hurt.
Especially this late in the round.
Now, can Whelan capitalise on that lovely chip?
Yeah, this for 3 points. Pretty solid through the front 9. Oh, and finds the bottom of the hole. So a great start to the back 9, and we go on to score 35, which is currently in tied 5th. So won't make the playoff final, but I'm pretty sure that will get him to Stoke Park.
Kelly. He'd certainly put some money on this man getting well inside the top 10, but in the end, a little frustrating in terms of his finish. Tying for 4th on 36 points, and at the moment heading for a shootout to get into that winner-takes-all scenario. Now this man had a very good round indeed. Didn't quite get the breaks when he needed them, and despite the face-pulling mat on the first tee, ended up with a very good 18 holes.
Yeah, that talking to the ball after you've hit it makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Mine always listens. Not.
How about this for a putt though from Daniel Smart? Oh yes, classy stuff. But yet another man who would find himself at the end of 18 on 34 points. Getting very, very tight indeed for that ticket to the World Final at Stoke Park come the end of the season. Still chances for the likes of Gray to get in. Just eyeing up this bunker shot. And the big man going after that one. And a little frustrated on his closing holes.
These players really live and breathe this, don't they?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Big smile though. There was a big smile at the end.
Now, what of our champion from last year, Paul Collins, with a new driver?
I think the look tells the story. That's found the Rockliffe Hall rough down the right-hand side.
But under almost biblical skies above the 14th, Paul Collins attempting to put a decent score together.
He's going along okay at the moment. He's going to need this. This is a bogey putt. Can't afford to let anything slip. Oh.
And I'm afraid in the end, Paul Collins managed to blob 14, 15 and 18. 30 points. The champion does not qualify for the World Final. So plenty of drama here at Rockliffe Hall. Can James Gray join the party?
Saw him using this putter to good effect earlier. Oh, dearie me.
Well, that would have been for 36 points. Has to settle in the end for the single point to go to 35. Good enough for Gray, but there was still business to be sorted. In the end, the three players on 34 went head-to-head for a place at Stoke Park. Just one ticket up for grabs in the shootout, and that was claimed by 2011 Fox Hills playoff finalist Duncan Bush. While at the other end, three players on 36 also went to a shootout for the last place in the top 4 playoff, where Matthew Campbell, the chip-in king, managed to close the door on the rest and extend his day for at least another 3 holes of Trilby pressure. So after 18 holes of golf, 110 Trilby Torians left Rockliffe empty-handed, but Bush went from shootout success to join Gray, Mackey, Whelan, Haywood and Kelly at the World Final, leaving Matthew Campbell to take his place at the top table with Barry Thomas, John Hughes and the day's top scorer Stephen Ridley in the winner-takes-all playoff for the Trilby Tour Championship of Durham, coming right up after the break here on Sky Sports.
The perfect gentleman's playground. William Hunt Savile sponsors the Trilby Tour.
Welcome back to Rockliffe Hall. It's time to decide the Trilby Tour Championship of Durham. 4 men, 3 holes, winner takes all. It's playoff time. First up, it's the top scorer in regulation, Stephen Ridley.
My name's Stephen Ridley, I'm 30 years old and the golf club that I play at is Bishop Auckland Golf Club, County Durham. Strengths on the course are driving and putting. Weaknesses, maybe long iron. My sporting hero is Tiger Woods, due to him obviously in the last decade being fantastic at what he's done. Hopefully he comes back and starts winning majors again.
So the biggest hitter in this playoff safely away. Next up, it's Trilby Tour veteran John Hughes.
John Hughes, age 59, Pleasanton Golf Club near Blackburn. Outside of golf, I do a little bit of off-road car racing and watch football. There's only one football team in Lancashire, and that's Accrington Stanley. My strengths are probably my driving. My short game's quite weak, but I think we've only been playing from just starting my 6th season. Probably all aspects of my game become weak and strong at different times, and it's just trying to keep it all together.
Another southpaw through to a Trilby Tour playoff, but no left-hander has ever won a regional championship. Great drive from John. Next up, Barry Thomas.
37 points, Barry Thomas. My name is Barry Thomas, I'm 45 and my golf club is Clitheroe Golf Club in Lancashire. My interests outside of golf are walking, cycling, taking the dog for a walk and taking my lovely wife out. My favourite football team has got to be Wiltshire Wanderers, where my son plays centre midfield. My strengths on the course have been the putting, which I've got up and down with some really clutch putts. My weaknesses on the course have been a few wayward drives that has ended up in a few sticky positions.
And this could be sticky again. It's left, but playable for Barry. And last man in to bat is Matthew Campbell.
Matthew Campbell, 34, Horsworth Golf Club. Outside of golf, socialising and five-a-side football. Favourite football team, Leeds United. Strengths on the course, driving. My weaknesses on the course, irons, putting and chipping.
Oh dear, Matthew going the opposite way to Barry right off the first tee, and that's a no-no. The penal Rockliffe rough awaits and he knows it. So we've got 3 in play and 1 in a spot of bother. Let battle commence.
Barry Thomas in the left-hand semi-rough. Going to need to move this ball a little bit right to left. But a rather large looming lake on the right-hand side. Easy for me to say. It's going to cause him a few problems. But he looks to have hoiked that one up in the air. Just short and left, but it's going to set him up with a fairly reasonable chip and putt opportunity for par.
Yeah, that hasn't worked out too badly at all, not quite what he had in mind, and this certainly isn't what Matthew Campbell had in mind. And what is he doing, Matt?
I've seen these situations before and they do not end well.
Oh dear. Oh, that's moved about 10 feet and gone even deeper in, and Campbell faced with virtually the same shot. This time, well, he takes his medicine, but even then he's fortunate to get out and back in play.
Just cannot afford to compound an error with an error. Now Ridley, after bombing it down that left-hand side, setting up a fantastic opportunity.
Oh yeah, that is absolutely superb.
Great work there from the big fella. Leaves himself about 20 feet for birdie.
Campbell, already his 4th shot. And I'm afraid that's not going to be good enough to get him out of trouble.
Now John Hughes off the back of a great tee shot with a chance to become our first left-handed regional champion. Looks to have lost that left a little.
Yeah, we always talk about history on the Trilby Tour, Matt, and we've had a few left-handers through to the playoff stages, but no one's ever won. And John Hughes, doing what he did in regulation, he just kept it safe, and that might be good enough today.
Yeah, just plodding his way up the first hole. He's got about a 20-footer for par. Now Thomas, a 3rd shot into this first. Looks to be playing a little cheeky chip and run with a 7 or an 8 iron, and that's exactly what he's done, just landed it short, trying to let it feed up close to the flag.
Well, he played this hole well in regulation, Matt.
He did indeed. He made a lovely 4 for 3 points. Can he do the same again?
Ridley, with a putt for birdie, doesn't get a shot at this first hole, so this is vital for Stephen.
Should just come off that left-hand side. Hasn't hit it though. Some signs of early nerves. And still a bit of work to do to save his par.
He's tough playing under these conditions. You know, Campbell's a very good golfer. Shoved it right off the tee, went for a crazy shot for his second out of the rough, and may have cost himself the playoff on the first hole.
Absolutely. Can do no better than a 6. Now Hughes, putt for par.
Has that shot though as a cushion.
That'll be a 5 net 4.
And in she goes. Very steady from John Hughes on the first hole, and the playoff leader on level. Let's see who else can stay with him.
Barry Thomas though has got a putt to go past him. Just going to break off that left hand side, be using that marker, just trying to skirt the ball inside it. He's got to hit it hard enough. It's uphill. Oh, no. Just let it dribble away, but that's a 5 net 4. Second player onto level par.
Just get the feeling that nobody has really gone after this yet. And from Ridley's point of view, that's a shame after such a massive tee shot. Well, trundles it in, and he has a share of the lead along with Hughes and Thomas.
Yeah, rock solid 4 there from Ridley. Looks to be the man most in control. Campbell, a little bit of paperwork needed here just to get his 6.
But let's be honest, Matt, that is an absolute shocker at the first for Matthew Campbell. Okay, he's got a shot, he's only 1 shot off the pace, but it's not a confident start. Now, how about this for the second playoff hole, the second on the course?
Yeah, fantastic par 3 this. Big bunkers guarding the left and the right hand side of the green, undulating putting surface, and the flag back in that left hand corner today, so you're going to need to find the middle of the bat to find the surface, and he's definitely struggled to do that. He's going to struggle to get up, looking like the front bunker. That's exactly where it's ended up.
Real problems for Stephen Ridley. Not the tee shot he was looking for, and that means the door is half open for the likes of John Hughes.
Probably using his favourite little rescue club, just trying to find that front right corner. All needs a bit of luck. That's exactly what he's got, and that really does throw the gauntlet down to the other 2.
Yeah, I wonder what William's thinking at the moment. That shot from Hughes wasn't pretty, but it worked.
Barry Thomas, looks like he's out with a little 5 wood. Just starting this down the right hand side, looks to be staying there. Just going to find the right edge, but that's going to leave him a very difficult putt.
Oh my goodness me, that's a monster coming back across the green. Now Matthew Campbell, this is the player that needs some magic at the second playoff hole, and there's certainly space to work with.
Yeah, expect to see him take the flag on here. He's got nothing to lose, and I think he loves it.
Oh yes, and why wouldn't you love it? What a cracking shot from Matthew Campbell, and he's given himself every chance of getting back into this playoff.
The perfect gentleman's playground. William Hunt Savile sponsors the Trilby Tour.
Welcome back to the Trilby Tour Championship of Durham at Rockliffe Hall in Darlington. We're into the second playoff hole.
And this is where we need to see the best of a talented Mr. Ridley. Found that right hand bunker. Horrible shot, some 30-35 yards. Literally he's got to fly it some 6 feet short of the flag and just get a bit of spin. But not even some spin's going to save that one. That's in the rough behind the green. His chance is slipping away.
And another player, the architect of his own downfall, under pressure at the moment, and Ridley's going to do well to hang on to level, and there we go, an early entry for Rogues Gallery.
Yeah, great feature of the golf course is the rough, but that really has seen Mr. Ridley come a cropper.
Grabbed him, swallowed him up, and he goes from level to 2 over. Barry Thomas with this terrifying putt.
It's his birdie chance, but believe you me, he will be more than happy to run to the next tee with a 3. Fantastic pace control.
Super putt from Barry, and has every chance of getting a par out of this one. Now John Hughes,
just on the fringe, had the flag left in, sensible option, means he can be a little bit more aggressive, but as he's done all day, and as he did at the first hole, just plotting his way around nicely. Now must putt here, Campbell. Oh no, short and right generally doesn't go in, continues to be the case.
so Matthew Campbell with chances at the second playoff hole. Well, at least he's not last. Now then, Hughes on the left, Thomas on the right.
Both for par, and both safely in. Great work, fellas.
What a very different story to last year's subpar playoff festival. Level par good enough then to lead, and Barry Thomas will head to the 18th, neck and neck with his fellow Lancashire pal John Hughes, the old left-right combination. But can Campbell or Ridley make something happen at the last? Hughes then to tee it up first at the final playoff hole. The important factor for him is that he gets a shot on this hole and the rest don't. It's not great, but it's okay.
Second on the tee, Barry Thomas.
Barry Thomas, Hughes' most realistic rival, has to be perfect at the 18th. No, it's gone. Well, he'll need some luck there. That's in the rough stuff and he'll need help finding that. Campbell, poor at the first, so close at the second, a shocker at the third I'm afraid though. He shoved it right again and into more Rockliffe rough. And finally at 2 over, Stephen Ridley.
No holding back here on 18 and no need to at all. Great par 4, out of bounds down the left and a couple of trees that are going to push the players to the right hand side. Well, there's a couple of bunkers waiting.
Well, I don't want to sound too technical, but Stephen Ridley's just hit the cover off that one. Super stuff at this third playoff hole. Now, bit of trouble for our joint leader.
But he's taking his medicine, coming out sideways, just going to try and find the short grass. Now needs a bit of magic.
And sometimes that's the direction you've got to go, eh Barry? Good effort. But this is the man in control now.
Yeah, and he's looked in control since the word go in this playoff. I'd imagine he'll just be trying to nudge this up short and right of the green, give himself an ideal little pitch into that flag, and that's exactly what he's done.
And Matt, we're still heading towards history, a left-handed winner.
Whoa there, Neddy. Didn't you watch the Ryder Cup? This man can still make a huge impact. Needs to find the green. In with his favourite little rescue club. Player and caddy screaming at it. And
yes!
Have it.
Oh, yes.
Have it.
That's what we like to see on the Trilby Tour.
Great bit of sportsmanship there from John Hughes. Warmly applauding his good friend's third shot into the 18th.
Campbell into the rough a second time in this playoff. And that has put pay to his chances if he doesn't hold this. Never up, never in. Big style, I'm afraid, from Campbell. And that is curtains.
The moment every Trilby Taurian dreads the black and white ink. Now Ridley, after a disaster on the second, playing for a little bit of pride, and safely finds the middle of the green.
Won't make him feel any better though. And I'm afraid that's Mr. Ridley's chances gone. And John Hughes looking to continue his neat and tidy march towards the title.
Yeah, anywhere inside 20 feet here is a fantastic shot. Just landed that on the front edge and has played that beautifully. This is an exhibition in how to win.
You know what they say, Matt, left is best.
But hang on just a moment, Mr. Wright here on the back of the green, or Mr. Thomas as he's known to his friends, still has an opportunity to set the cat amongst the pigeons. Now this putt will break off the left hand side. Yeah, should just be looking a couple of inches outside that left side. Just a bit too much, and that's definitely going to miss.
He knew it had to drop, and now he's relying on John Hughes to make a big error. And the way this man has played today, that surely isn't going to happen.
Yeah, 2 putts from 8 feet. The old saying, if you've got 2 for it, take them. exactly what he's done.
I think he's going to mark this.
Of course he is, that's what they do on the telly. It's your moment of glory.
And I think John Hughes is going to just enjoy his moment. Well played, Barry Thomas. Certainly gave him a run for their money today and looks happy with his performance, but he's going to have to wait to Stoke Park and the World Final to see if he can achieve Trilby Tour glory. And in it goes, third time on tour, and he's got that dream win. Easiest putt John Hughes will ever have to win a tournament. More than that though, he's won a title and created some history along the way by becoming the Trilby Tour champion of Durham and the first left-hander to win a regional title. Onwards and upwards then, it's difficult to believe it, but that's 5 regional championships down and only 5 to go. And remember, you can catch all the action here on Sky Sports at Trilby time, 7 PM every Monday, as William takes you all the way to the big one, the Trilby Tour World Championship final at Stoke Park. But what's going on this week? Even the lefties are winning. Let's hear from the champion.
Well, you were level coming down the last and you had a shot. Where did you make that count?
My drive wasn't so clever, it went too high. I was sat quite right down in the rough. I was tempted to take a 23-degree rescue. Thankfully my caddy talked me out of it and said, look, just give a 7-iron the best you've got. You're 190 yards in, just get there and a chip up. And I absolutely flushed the 7-iron and I was just left with a little 52-degree chip and a couple of putts.
And if you had one word to sum up the day, what would it be?
Awesome. Truly awesome.
No, that's 3 words. Congratulations though to John Hughes and to Matthew Campbell, a chip in at 17 in regulation, and this beauty under severe pressure in the playoff. This week's shot of the day. Now then, have you ever wondered what it would be like to play a round of golf with your eyes crossed? Something like this, I reckon. Here's Rockliffe's very own Rogues Gallery.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Martin, you're an idiot, you're disqualified.
Oh, it's tough on that Trilby first tee. Here's William.
First lefty to ever win the championship. John Hughes kept his form. I quite like that, you know, when I was talking to him earlier in the day, he was quite cocky, quite sure of himself, but when it came down to the business end of it, that left him a little bit. He got a bit surly and a bit like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into here? But he kept his form and he played really, really well. It's a long course. It's been a long day. It's been a brilliant day. I've got to thank everyone here at Rockliffe because they're just the way they treat people is just exceptional. The warm atmosphere, the welcome, and the way they host the Trilby Tour just brilliantly. Next, we're off to KP Club. Again, love that place.
There you have it then, all loved up. We're off to KP for the Trilby Tour Championship of Yorkshire, and please be advised at the end of these credits William has kindly agreed to give an interview technique masterclass, a rare opportunity to see how it should be done. As always, for more information, please go to www.williamhunttrilbytour.com. We'll see you next week. Now, as promised and completely free of charge, a masterclass in the art of the interview with the maestro himself. Watch and learn.
Sam, back again.
I'm Kevin, that's Sam.
You never played golf before?
Never played this course before.
But the score, look, you know, it could indicate you've never played golf before. I mean, what did you finish on?
30.
Paul? You got... Good start.
He just said Paul.
See, I said he did, so I blamed it on someone else. Right. David, you got through the pre-championship... I'll do that again. You put me off now, Paul. Yeah.